Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, your trusted source for real-time updates on foreign currencies and financial insights. In today's video, we're addressing a pressing question for many viewers in 2025. Can you actually exchange Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong at banks in the United States? With confusion swirling around the internet and plenty of speculation in the financial community, we've put together a comprehensive, fact-based guide that separates myth from reality. Whether you've recently acquired IQD or VND or have been holding onto it for years, this breakdown will help you understand exactly what's possible and how to proceed securely. Let's begin with the core question. Is it possible to walk into a U.S. bank today and exchange your IQD or VND? The answer, realistically speaking, is it depends. Most major banks across the country do not currently buy or sell Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong through their regular teller services. The reason is rooted in global currency liquidity. These two currencies are considered exotic and are not actively traded in high volumes on the global market. But that doesn't mean you're out of options. Some financial institutions have formed partnerships with external currency exchange services. These third-party providers may enable transactions through special arrangements at bank branches or via secure mailing procedures. So, while it's not as straightforward as trading in euros or yen, the door isn't completely closed either. You just need to know where to look and what to ask. As of 2025, policies surrounding exotic currencies are slowly evolving due to increased public curiosity and speculation over potential future revaluations. While no official revaluation has been announced for either the Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong, some banks are beginning to field more inquiries from interested customers. Regional banks and credit unions may be slightly more open to engaging in these types of exchanges compared to national chains. However, they usually require the customer to hold an account with the institution and may enforce minimum exchange amounts. In many cases, the process takes days rather than minutes. If your bank doesn't handle these currencies directly, they may refer you to a trusted third-party provider they work with. Always ask whether the service is FDIC insured or registered with a federal or state authority. This ensures the safety of your funds and adds a layer of legitimacy to the process. So, what should you do if you're ready to try exchanging your dinar or dong? First, never just show up at a bank. Always call ahead. Ask specifically whether the institution deals with exotic currencies and what their procedures are. Then inquire about the applicable exchange rate, transaction fees, and processing timeline. Bring valid government-issued identification, and if exchanging a significant amount, be prepared to provide proof of funds. Some banks will want to verify where the currency came from and why you're converting it now. If the institution sends your currency to an external processing partner, expect a delay of several business days before the transaction is completed. A crucial yet often misunderstood fact is that federal compliance regulations significantly limit what U.S. banks can do when it comes to foreign currency. These regulations are designed to prevent financial crimes such as money laundering and fraud. That's why banks may ask for personal details, including your occupation and the origin of the funds. It's not meant to be invasive. These are simply part of compliance and verification processes. If you're exchanging a large amount, prepare supporting documentation to avoid red flags. But what if the bank declines to help altogether? In that case, many individuals turn to online currency exchange platforms. These services allow you to send in your dinar or dong by insured mail, and in return they send you US dollars, either by check or direct deposit. Several of these platforms are licensed and registered with the Better Business Bureau, FinCEN, or relevant state authorities, making them a legitimate alternative. However, due diligence is essential. Always read reviews, understand fee structures, and confirm their legal status before handing over your currency. If you're considering waiting for a future revaluation before making any moves, it's important to recognize that no official revaluation has occurred as of today, June 2, 2025. There are plenty of rumors floating around online about secret rates or private exchanges offering inflated values like $3.00 or $5.00 per dinar. These claims are unfounded and lack any backing from central banks or credible financial news outlets. Neither the Central Bank of Iraq nor the State Bank of Vietnam has released any information confirming such changes. That brings us to the subject of redemption centers, a term that's gained traction in certain online communities. Allegedly, these are special facilities that will pop up to assist currency holders during a future RV. However, there's currently no confirmation from any U.S. government agency that such centers exist. Be cautious if someone suggests meeting at one of these unofficial locations, especially if they ask for upfront fees, personal data, or your physical currency. These are common tactics used by scammers. If your local bank turns you away or you're unsure about where to go next, keep in mind that alternative methods exist, but they come with responsibilities. Online currency exchanges can be an option, but only if you verify their legitimacy first. Look for services that are clearly registered, provide customer support, list current exchange rates transparently, and offer tracking for your currency once shipped. Legitimate companies often provide email confirmations, shipment insurance options, and clear timelines for when your funds will be returned. Now, let's touch on another key topic: currency condition. If your Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong is damaged, torn, heavily creased, stained, or looks suspicious, it may be rejected by banks and exchange services alike. Currency needs to be in good condition, ideally crisp and clean, for it to be eligible for exchange. It's best to store your notes in protective sleeves or cases away from moisture, heat, and sunlight. This ensures that if and when you're ready to convert, your currency meets all verification standards. If you're unsure about the condition, you can have it reviewed by a certified appraiser or foreign currency dealer before making an attempt to exchange. There's also the question of tax reporting. If you convert your foreign currency back into US dollars and profit from the exchange, the IRS may view that as a capital gain. While simply owning foreign currency doesn't trigger taxes, profiting from an exchange might. To stay on the right side of regulations, maintain detailed records of when and where you purchased the currency, how much you paid, and the rate at which you converted it. A qualified tax professional can help you file any necessary documents and determine if you owe anything based on the gain. It's always better to be prepared than caught off guard during tax season. Safety is just as critical as legality. Never carry large amounts of IQD or VND with you in public, and never agree to meet someone from an online forum to exchange cash in person. These actions not only put your investment at risk, but also your personal safety. If you're shipping currency to an exchange provider, always use tracked and insured mailing services, preferably with signature confirmation. FedEx, UPS, and USPS all offer services that meet these requirements. Losing your currency due to poor handling or a lack of documentation is a risk that can easily be avoided with careful planning. If you're wondering how widespread this interest in exotic currencies really is, you're not alone. Since the early 2000s, millions of Americans have purchased Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong, some through formal dealers, some via online groups, and others as part of speculative investments. Some have even inherited the currency. There's no stigma in holding onto it, but it's important to manage expectations. The value of these currencies may change in the future, but no one can predict with certainty when or how. So which U.S. banks are reportedly more open to dealing with exotic currencies like IQD or VND in 2025? While not every branch participates, financial institutions like Wells Fargo, TD Bank, and PNC have departments that may facilitate such transactions. These services aren't offered at every location and often depend on the branch manager's discretion or the customer's relationship with the bank. Generally, regional banks and credit unions are more flexible than large national chains. Their smaller scale often allows for more personalized services, especially if you're an existing customer. If one bank declines, don't give up. Try another. Finally, let's address the bigger picture. As of June 2025, there are no verified reports of redemption centers, no government-sponsored buybacks, and no official exchange rates that have dramatically changed overnight. If any major shift occurs in policy or valuation, Institutions like the Central Bank of Iraq, Vietnam's SBV, or major U.S. financial authorities would release public statements. Don't trust whispers on internet forums or promotional pitches from unverified dealers claiming inside access to special rates. To summarize, yes, you can still exchange Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong in the United States, but it requires research, caution, and the right partners. This isn't a process you can rush. It requires calling banks, asking the right questions, and sometimes considering licensed third-party services. There are no shortcuts, just legitimate documented paths forward. If you're holding 50,000 dinar or 5 million dong, the key to protecting your investment is staying informed, patient, and realistic. Keep up with real financial news, follow updates from central banks, and stay connected with trustworthy communities. Here on Iraqi Dinar News, we're committed to bringing you verified updates, not hype. If you've had success exchanging your currency, let us know in the comments. Mention which bank helped you and what steps you had to take. Your story could help another viewer navigate this complex process. Remember, you're not alone. Thousands are walking the same road as you. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay alert, and we'll see you in the next update right here on Iraqi Dinar News.